Welcome to the Jersey Baseball Show this week. It's an exciting 2022 season, and we've talked to a couple of guys who should be at the top of the list as far as best pitcher in New Jersey, Trey Dombrowski, Frank Doling, and in doing so, we certainly don't want to neglect the guy who won New Jersey's first NCAA tournament game in 10 years last year, and that's Ryan Fischer at NJIT. And Fish, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Where are we going this year? I mean, after last season's great run, so many guys back. What's sort of been the thought from that last pitch against Nebraska, to now? I mean, what are we building towards here, and how does it? And I guess before that, how does it feel to be back with all the guys?
Oh, I mean, it's awesome, really. It's to have everyone back. I mean, of course, we're missing our two starters in Jared Caxo and Tyler Stafflinger, but it's great to have everyone back and to be in that culture, that Gritball culture. It's really something special, and we're excited to just build upon last year. And the expectations are, if not the same, completely much better than last year. We expect to go further and do a lot more damage.
Is it different mentally, like knowing that you're going to be the team everybody's going after now? And how do you prepare for that? Is it something we just kind of relish and take on, or what's the mindset for everybody?
Yeah, I think Robbie talks about how we were always being the hunters and now we're going to be the hunted. And I think that nothing really changes as far as mindset. We're still going to think of ourselves as the hunters, and it's kind of cool to be the team that everyone wants to be. We kind of, as far as the program goes, it's never really been like that. And then, this year it's just a completely different experience for the team, and just going out and still just dominating. We just want to just keep that rolling.
Kind of feel like your personality, you like that anyway,
Yeah.
Hunterdon and Central, you obviously always were, Legion, everything. You always kind of relish knowing that you're going to get their best, and you're going after them with your best anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, from Central to Legion, I've always been pretty lucky to be on great teams and be the hunted, I guess you could say. And then just to be back there this year, it's really awesome, honestly.
Now, you mentioned the two guys really who aren't back, Cac and Tyler Stafflinger, and you kind of are going to move into Tyler's role of getting that number one start with each weekend series now. From when you kind of stepped foot on campus to now, how have you grown to be ready to be that guy that everybody's looking to now as the ace?
Well, I think I owe a lot of my success to the coaches for really believing in me. Robbie has always believed in me. Coach DeLeo has always believed in me. Everyone's believed in me. And I think that's really helped myself as a pitcher and as a player. And obviously with the guidance of those two veteran pitchers, it's really, I'm not surprised with just how well I've done, because those guys, they really helped me become the pitcher that I am today, just by watching them, learning from them. And then, it was really a privilege to work with them. And Staff came back this year as a grad assistant, and he's really done a lot so far in the month that we've been here. So I expect to really make another jump this year.
He couldn't get away from all you guys.
Nah, he couldn't stay away.
So we'll put you in charge of writing a dictionary here, and if we had to define Gritball, right? Because that's the thing, right? That's the culture that you guys have sort of adapted and made your own, and this team that doesn't have a field on campus and is just going to go out tough everybody, and we're going to go on national TV and kind of show out against Arkansas and take a lead on them and scare what out of them. But you had to define Gritball for us. Where would we go with that?
I think Gritball really just has to do with just being tough and just working hard and doing everything you can to to be the best player that you can be. Originally it started out, we were just sitting in here joking around, playing MLB The Show. And there were a couple just silly plays in the game. And Dave gets up and he screams, "Gritball, Gritball." and it just kind of stuck. And eventually it turned into something that really, it describes the culture that really that class of guys, Paul, Julio, Rap, Dave, that they really created that culture of Gritball, and it's going to stick here for years to come, really.
You can't have a more Gritball closer than a guy throwing 84, 85, just like out mentally toughing everybody, right? I mean,
absolutely.
For him and Kevin Kopps, the two guys with the best stats in the country, isn't it?
Yeah.
As a starter, knowing that you're turning the ball over to him, ideally, I mean, so many games last year, the NCAA tournament, which we'll talk about in a bit, but knowing that, obviously everybody wants to fight to stay in the game as long as they can. I mean, that any good starting pitcher is going to say that, but knowing that you're turning the ball over to someone like Jake, you got to feel like pretty confident.
Yeah, it definitely takes a little bit of weight off my shoulders. If I'm, maybe not feeling it out there, or, something goes wrong, runner gets on late in the game and, tie game, down 1, up 1, and then they put Rap in the game. I think there's nothing better than him coming in after me, and I just get to sit back and relax. Like, I just know he's going to get the job done.
Absolutely. And on the other hand, throwing to someone like Paul, but not just Paul, obviously somebody that you grew up playing with, primarily in Luke Longo. I mean, that's, you got guys who know you probably as well as any catchers ever have, I guess.
Yeah. Luke has been my catcher since middle school, 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about 8 years now, almost 9 years. And I mean, it's crazy to think about how far we've both come. I mean, he's grown as much as a catcher as I have as a pitcher, and I love having him back there. He's my battery mate, my guy. I feel comfortable with him out there, probably more than anyone. He's really great to have out there with me.
When you talk about being on the same wavelength as your catcher, I guess too, right? It's probably not possible to be any closer that way.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
So let's talk NCAA tournament last year. For only guy since 2011 in New Jersey to get a win. Go back to that weekend. Obviously, the most ridiculous time you'll probably ever have in college baseball until we get to Omaha this year, right?
Yeah,
but short of that, I mean, just the whole weekend itself. But then, you lose a tough game on Friday. It's your ball on Saturday against a really good Northeastern team, and I think Sebastian Keane was pitching too, another top prospect.
Schlittler was pitching.
Oh, okay. So Keane probably pitched the first. Okay, yeah. I think so many good pitchers last year.
They did.
But again, same thing. You're talking about a guy who was one of the best pitchers in his class in the country last year. Where's your mind going in that day? What do you remember about that day and that game, and how does it feel to, hey, I won a game in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah. I mean, that day, got up, obviously pumped up, all jacked up. I was ready to go. I'd prepared for it mentally in every way. I was ready to do it, ready to perform in front of everyone. And we get to the field, everything's okay. I'm warming up, and I get to the bullpen, and I'm throwing in my bullpen. Coach DeLeo's watching, Rap's watching, and I'm throwing a Longo, and every pitch, it just does not come out the way I wanted it to come out. And it just didn't feel right. I was getting all in my head. Coach was like, calm down. Rap was like, hey man, you got to figure this out. Like, we're starting in 10 minutes. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm trying. And so I calmed down a little bit. I got out there, and once I started going, I just felt good out there. And, I think what really helped was just having everyone behind me. And they believed in me. And then the fact that I can trust my defense so well, so easily, it really takes a lot of weight off my shoulders, and I just got to throw the ball in there how I know how to do it, and it really just worked out better. But I was definitely freaking out beforehand.
There was some crazy times in the pen, you're saying, before the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. It's actually funny because I was watching a video. DeGrom was talking about how when he has the worst bullpens, he has some of the best outings. When he has the best bullpens, he has some of the worst outings. So I guess in the back of my head, I was kind of like, oh, I might be all right out here, and I was okay. So
Yeah, and to play and throw in front of that crowd, and really so many fans, when you listen to the end of that game, there's definitely a roar, and that it's more than just your fans, which were great, that obviously made the trip down, but to play in front of so many supportive people from other schools, that was pretty cool, I'm sure.
yeah, it was awesome. The people down there were great. I mean, hearing that was the first time I've ever heard cheering for my team like that. It was crazy. It was awesome. It was just a great experience, great feeling, and I don't really think we realized in the moment, but afterward, looking back on it, we're like, man, like that was awesome. Like they were cheering for us. But,
trying to get 10,000 over at Heinz this year, right?
Yeah. I don't know if there's enough seating there.
No.
I don't even know if there's enough seating for 1,000.
So then you got a little bit of time in the summer, right after a long season. Throwing was played up in the NECBL, and what have you been focusing on, personal improvement wise, since the that great run at the end of last year?
Yeah, personally, definitely more fine tuning. I'm definitely working. I'm working on my hips, my mobility, a lot more mechanical stuff. And then as far as pitching goes, I've been really developing a third pitch, my changeup. Last year, I was primarily fastball slider, throw my changeup every now and then. Recently, this fall, I've been throwing, and in the summer, I've been throwing fastball changeup a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the slider, been working on that on the side, but that didn't need as much work as the changeup, I felt. So really, I'm just kind of figuring out like how to how to control, command my pitches better. Essentially, just change eye levels, change speeds. So I've been doing a lot of that in my bullpen, focusing on thirds of the plate rather than cutting the plate in half, cutting into thirds. So you have the outer third, middle third,
Sure.
and you want to stay away from the middle third, of course, because that's
Yep.
where you get beat up. So
Yeah, doesn't matter how hard you're throwing there.
yeah, absolutely. So I've been just trying to really just work on command and fine tuning stuff, and then I've been obviously working after it in the gym, trying to get the velocity up a little bit, but it'll come in due time, I think.
You able to take on more of an upperclassman kind of mentor role with so many young guys coming in, and so many young guys with probably more credentials as a whole than you guys did when you came in, but do you feel like that it's your time to really take that role too now?
Yeah, definitely. I think with the fifth year guys still here, I think they kind of still own that role completely.
Yeah,
I'm kind of learning from them, giving my 10 cents in each conversation that we have, whether it's with the staff or with the team. But
yeah,
really, it's more up to them. But then obviously they're not here next year, so then that'll be my time.
sure.
My time to
This
lead.
is kind of a bridge, right, while they're still around, and you've got the credibility of pretty well last year.
Yeah.
So backtracking before college, let's talk a little bit about your high school career, Hunterdon Central, American Legion baseball, right, with White House post 284. How did that? So many guys are showcase dominant now, but to get the couple of years of Legion experience in with a top-notch program, as well as kind of backing it up off of your high school program, how did that plan for that in that kind of environment help shape you to get to where you are?
Yeah. Well, as far as Coach Farzio was always very, very, do this, go to work here, go to work. He really kind of got that almost Gritball, work hard mentality into me already. And as far as high school, just those guys that I played with, they were also really hard workers. There are a couple of guys are playing now. And I think that honestly, without Legion and without Hunter Central, that I probably wouldn't be where I am today. I think that Coach Farzio really helped me in the sense of just getting me where I am. He gave me what I need to do, where I need to go. He kind of helped set me up in the recruiting process, and then eventually NJIT found me, and I'm lucky to be here. So.
You love the Legion experience. I mean, is that something that sometimes gets lost among people, among younger guys today?
I think a lot of people hear Legion and they kind of laugh at it like, oh, like Legion. And, I understand it. I played on White House and, we would beat up on teams 10 runs. And then when we get to the state final, that was when it would get competitive. And then obviously tournaments too. And that was the fun part. Of course, beating up on teams is fun too, but when we're winning 10 runs every game, I understand why people are saying, "Oh, Legion baseball is not all that."
Yeah.
But I think there are definitely a lot of teams in Legion that are notable teams. That are good teams, have great players.
Definitely. So, goals for this year. I'm sure you got some individual and team wise. Obviously the common sense is to repeat and relive, not relive, but have another chapter, I guess, in the same experience. But what are our goals at this point for 2022?
Yeah, I mean, simply put, just be better than last year. That's to be simple with it. Obviously, as a team, we'd like to win the conference this year. Rather than by technicality. But, I think we just want to show everyone that it wasn't a fluke last year. It wasn't, whatever happened. We don't need to talk. We don't need to get into it. But, we just want to be better than last year. I want to be better than last year. It's really just that's just the culture that we've developed this year. And I think a lot of guys have bought into it. I think as far as practice goes and the last month and a half that we've been practicing, I can definitely tell that everyone's working hard and we're all just ready to prove ourselves again.
You've got a group of 6 fifth-year guys who all came back for one last, run. I mean, they really played a large part in building what NJIT baseball is now. What can you tell me about those guys and what they've meant to kind of Gritball, but also B, what they've meant to Ryan Fischer?
Yeah, I mean, those 6 guys are probably some of my best friends. They are my best friends since I've been here. I live with them, so they've really helped create just a great just brotherhood. I mean, those guys, I've never seen friends like them to each other and then treating everyone else with the same respect and same friendship. It's incredible. I mean, they're all great guys, and we're lucky to have leaders like them. Great ball players too, of course. And I mean, it's great. They're really awesome guys, and we're just lucky to have them here.
When you made the decision to come to NJIT, it wasn't like they were coming off of years of great success. I mean, you could see they were starting to grow as a program, but it's not like you're joining like a team that had gone to the NCAA's 10 straight years or anything like that. Can you imagine, how well at that time, how well it's worked out, not just on the field, but also off the field?
Yeah. I mean, crazy. It's crazy to think about really what was it? They were 9-40. Jared's freshman year, the Caxos freshman year.
That's what Paul and all those guys walked into. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy to think 9-40 and then regional appearance in 4 years. Like it's crazy, and the support we receive from everyone on campus, it's great. Uh, it's just incredible. I mean, it's really awesome.
And to do it the way that everybody has, it's not like they just shipped in a bunch of JUCO guys that and then they're going to ship out and then the program's going to be back. It really just kind of grew. Always seemed to be more impressive
Yeah,
to me.
yeah, absolutely.
Or I guess what would you say that you can repeat when younger guys come in? High school guys. You have juniors, seniors, whatever, coming in for their visits. What do you tell them about what NJIT baseball means to you?
Well, so I haven't actually met any of the guys coming in, any of the recruits, but I would tell them that NJIT baseball is family. Like I can't imagine myself anywhere else, any other school playing for any other team, and that's because of the family and the brotherhood that we've created here. And I honestly think that's the most important thing when it comes to choosing your school. Uh, Choose somewhere that you can make an impact on, where you can play well, you can do something for the program, and then find kids that you love, that you'll love, guys that will take you in and be there with you at anytime you need anything, whether it's baseball related, school related, personally. I mean, it's NJIT baseball is family, and it's great to be part of it.
Absolutely. We are here this week with Ryan Fischer, NCAA tournament winning pitcher last year, returning ace of the staff for the Highlanders. Always a pleasure. Look forward to watching you keep that improvement up and bigger things and even better things in 2022. So thanks for taking some time with us.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan.